It has been a long day of getting things done on the farm. It's felt really good, but I haven't done too much recording just because I'm trying to keep up with things. But I'm gonna move some more chickens out tonight. I got the solar door on, so I'm gonna take them out of this coop, about 30-ish birds. And right now I'm moving the tomatoes back in the coop. I thought it was mice that were digging in the pots. I'm starting to think it's frogs because I didn't catch any mice in the mouse trap. And I don't know why a mouse would just dig in a pot, and I don't know. But I know last year when we had the plants sitting out, it was a little later on in the season, we had those little toads hopping in and digging in because they like the moisture in the pots. Same thing when we started planting the garden. They really were liking just where we watered, and they would burrow in there. So I think that's what's digging things up. It's currently 9:05. I have those doors set to close at 9:15, so they should be closing here in about 10 minutes. It's probably dark enough to start moving chickens. It's still light enough they can see, so a lot of times they jump down and it's a bit more of a fight. So I might wait a couple more minutes, but everybody should be up at this point, so I don't know, I might go ahead and give it a shot. Howdy y'all, today is April 27th. I had one of the teachers come out and pick up all the stuff for the chick project at school. Chicks gonna be hatching here in the next few days, so that's exciting. Got them all taken care of. Now I'm working on moving plants around. It's a beautiful sunny day outside. There it is. It's gonna be beautiful. So I've already moved the tomatoes out. They've been outside, but last night I got down to 41, so I did put them back in the chicken coop. So they're gonna be out full time once again. But unfortunately, some of these tomatoes we've been leaving out and bringing back up here because they're not as used to being outside yet. And when we did, remember I said we had something burrowing into our pots and killing some things? Well, I think it's a frog still. I think a frog ended up in one of these, got carried up here, and now we're having issues in the room of things getting burrowed into. So let's see. Here's a example here. There's a nice little hole. I already kind of fixed this one, but there's a lot of little holes going on here. Here's one. That one's pretty bad. Just little holes everywhere now. So basically nowhere is safe. So these are all the ones that are just starting to sprout too, and I really don't want anything to happen to them. So I'm probably gonna just move everything outside. Okay, y'all, I have my first swarm of the year, which is pretty exciting. So I had to take off from the farm earlier because I had a music gig, so I did that, done with it, and I'm heading back to the farm. My mom was still there earlier, and she actually heard the swarm fly over the barn, and the windows were open, and they decided to set up shop there. So they're still there. My mom ran back out to move some plants around, and yeah, I've got to go grab them and relocate them somewhere else because where they're at, I can't even close the window, and I would like to close that for tonight. So we'll take a look and see what we've got. And it looks like they're still there. That's gonna be fun. My current plan, it's getting a little cooler out, so the bees have settled down and they've clustered up. I have a little queen cage here. If I can find the queen, I'll pop her in here and then put her in this, and the bees will hopefully mostly go there. If not, I might just start scooping them in. It's getting late enough that it shouldn't be too much of an issue. I've got a lot of the bees scooped in. Loosely looking for this queen right now. If I can find her, it'll make things a lot easier. At this point, I'll probably use the brush and trying to get the rest of these guys and gals in. So far, pretty good. I never did find the queen. I'm assuming she's in that box. I've kind of looked through the little clusters that are left and I'm not seeing anything, so she's probably in there. What I did was I put a queen excluder on the bottom here. It's a little plastic thing, you can't see it, but basically there's little slats so the queen can't get out. So when I put the lid on, she's trapped inside this box. So this swarm won't be able to leave. But if the queen is not inside, she's not going to be able to get up in here, and then she could die from being too cold. So I don't want that to happen. So I have the lights turned down low. I'm going to let the bees chill for a while. Check through these last little clusters. There's also a tiny little cluster on this window. It's really small. I grabbed 2 handfuls over there. But this looks like a really nice size. I'm super excited. I'm also jealous that my mom was here to witness it and I wasn't, because I've not seen or heard a swarm in action. But my mom was upstairs in the grow room, and I mean, that's insulated and everything, and she said it sounded like a helicopter flying over. It was so loud. And swarms are noisy from what I've heard, so that's what it was. And then she ran down wondering what was going on, and there were just bees everywhere, and it was a madhouse. And she was a little afraid to even leave the barn, so she grabbed a cover from upstairs, wrapped herself all up in it really tight, and ran out. So it was a pretty cool experience, I guess. Maybe a little frightening for her. I wish I could have seen it. That would have been very cool. But I'm feeling pretty good about this. I have all the frames back in at this point, and I'm just kind of hoping these guys chill out and go in. I am just looking around for chickens to make sure they all went up, because I moved them last night. There were about 6 outside the net earlier that I had to grab and toss in the net, and most of them figured out how to get back in. But I just want to do another quick little look around here and make sure. French Fry, I'm glad he was able to use the little coop door. He couldn't quite figure out how to get in because it's so much shorter than he is. So I had to guide him there, but he figured it out. I don't see any chickens on that bench. On the pig hut, looks like we're good. Let's go in here. Make sure we don't have any chickens between the coops. Kind of hard to see my shadow. The chickens, nothing. Nesting boxes, good. Nothing. Sometimes they like hanging out on the wheels. It looks like we're good. The coop doors, the solar has been working great so far. I have 2 different brands. I kind of want to just test and see which one lasts longer. They're probably all made by the same company anyway, just slapped a different name on. But they open and close on a dime and works great. So I have 1 chicken still trying to figure out how to get up. So my Sussex, it looks like I have 1 Sussex that is tiny and struggles, so I'm gonna get in there and help her out real quick. Just a couple little stragglers at this point, moving around. Everybody's pretty well settled in. I'm gonna try and grab just a few more of these bees. I'm actually using this brush, just sweeping them up basically, and they kind of get stuck in there, and then you can shake them off in here. And there's still a tiny bit over here. Get up on the ladder. Not too many left there. That used to be a few handfuls, but I think that was pretty good. I'm gonna pop a lid on these guys and put them out on the hive stand, and I probably won't bother them for about a week, and we'll see what they look like then. Howdy, yeah, today is April 28th. I couldn't find my phone for the longest time. I finally found it, so let me update you. As far as the bees, there's still a ton going in and out of the barn, but the swarm is in the hive and they're happily getting settled in at this point. Right now, I just got the garden mapped out a little bit with, can't really even see it with the sun, but I have red flags up and down, 4, 3, 4, 3, 4, 3. So 4 is the planting row, 3 feet is the walking, or where I plan to put some mulch down. So my neighbor was gonna get over until again, but it's about to rain for 4 days straight, so I just want to get my tomatoes at least in the ground, because we still have this mystery critter that is digging in and just chopping off plants at the base or digging them up, and that's a lot of work that just gets clipped off really quick. So I just want to get them in the ground. It does happen out here, but it doesn't happen as often out in the garden versus in a chicken coop, or now upstairs we have that problem. So anyways, my plan is to get the tomatoes in today. Well, I didn't get done as much as I wanted to get done, story of my life, but gotta lay a little bit more out here. We did extend the rows about 10 feet, so I'm reusing this one from last year, which was 100, which is what the rows were, but I have them all laid out, which is a great feeling. These are 4 foot apart, so I'm putting a tomato in between each one of these holes, so they're about 2 feet apart. But I did get all my Baxters planted, which is a great feeling. So I'm gonna do 2 more tomato cages, which I just grabbed, if you can see them. And then I got straw down around them. It's really wet stuff, so it shouldn't blow away. I'm not too worried about it. This year I'm gonna try tomato cages, see if they work better. The Baxter bush never really got huge and overgrown, so I think they'll work fine in cages. That is the current plan, and we'll see what happens from there. The only ones that got crazy on me last year were the yellow pear, and I think I have 3 or 4 of those, so I don't know if I'll use the cages on them. But let me finish this up. I've got the barn light on because it's kind of hard to see anymore, but we'll finish up the last of this bale, throw some cages on there, and then we'll be done. It's currently 9:20. I have these set to close at 9:15, and they both closed. But I walked out here and French Fry is still out. He's so big that his head, he just can't see it or something. So let me shoo him back over and see if we can get him in. I had to help him out last night too. Oh, French Fry. I might have to find one that is sized for a duck, because he's just huge. I can't believe he can fit in there. A lot of tractors out tonight. We're getting about 4 days of rain. Are you stuck, buddy? You're stuck. Okay, well, let me move this coop. But yeah, that's why I really wanted to get some stuff planted, because I really don't want them sitting in the coop either. All right, where's the handle on this? There we go. Now you can get out. Or just go on the back. Go around front. I haven't looked around the rest of the farm just yet. Probably have to put you guys down because I'll have to grab him. Okay, I got French Fry in. We're gonna do a quick look around on the farm, make sure I don't have any other stragglers hanging out. Picnic table's usually a good spot. I did see some birds under here, but I think they're mostly lounging. I don't see any under there. That'd be a weird spot for a chicken to wanna hang out at night, but that looks good. Wood pile's good. Sometimes they like hanging out on the grill, which is a weird spot. Sometimes this wood pile. I actually found an egg behind there today. Let's check in here. Nobody there. Didn't see anyone on the roof, so that's good. Last spot I like looking is in this middle coop here. Sometimes I like hanging out on that box. It's a good spot to look. And that's all clear. We'll check the little bench over here. Don't see any chickens, no chickens. Only other spot, maybe somewhere out here. I don't see any birds. So I think we're good. I already checked the nesting boxes, grabbed eggs one more time, so chickens are good. Since it is going to storm tomorrow, I moved all the plants back into the coop. I am a little nervous to have them out there. I checked on them today, and one of my pepper plants was snipped right at the bottom. Same with a pumpkin. So frog, mouse, whatever it is, still digging in there and killing things. I'm mad about the pumpkin, but I'm more mad about that pepper because it's a really good sized pepper, and peppers are a lot harder to grow. That pumpkin, I can have another one sprouted in 4 days, so I'm bummed out by that. I hope it doesn't strike again. I do have mouse traps in there. I'll probably put another one just in case. Howdy, yeah. Today is April 29th. This room is clearing out and it feels so much better being in here. However, I think we have a mouse in here. So set up a couple traps. There is still something digging in our plants and killing them. And that's the only thing we can think could have happened. So as far as mine, they all have these little holes. This one here was clipped right at the base. I mean, I just don't even know if some of these are even planted anymore or not. This one was a yellow watermelon, and now there's a tomato. So don't know where that came from, but they are wreaking havoc and just killing things, and they're not going for the bait, which is annoying. It looks like we did a little bit of digging on that one fart pepper, and everything else under there looks okay, but it is just terrible. I'm really scared to go out in the chicken coop. There was mouse traps set up, but who knows if it got caught or not. Doesn't seem like they're interested in peanut butter. Didn't catch any mice in the traps in this coop, and there's a lot of digging going on. Some plants are missing. So that is very frustrating. I see a little hole over there, so I'll probably put a trap a little closer there. But there's not a lot I can do. I just got to get them in the ground. It looks like they were even up on the roofs digging into some of these, tearing them up. So that is frustrating. They seem to like the peppers. They're digging down really deep in these. Probably eating the roots. About to kill them off on me. And would you look at that? There's actually no peanut butter on either of the traps. They came, licked them off, and then went and chowed down on my plants. So that is also frustrating. They just didn't go off. Wow. There it went. That took quite a bit of pressure. I'm going to see if I can make those a little more sensitive. I've got some ryegrass starting to come up. Kind of hard to see in the camera there, but that's good to see. I never did get this little section here replanted after it was tilled, but I'm actually seeing some ryegrass still come up even through that. So I'll probably put a little more seed down because I know some of it probably got beat up. Thankfully, it looks like all the tomatoes in this coop are okay. I'm not seeing anything dug in real terrible, and we did catch a mouse over there, so that's a good feeling. At least there's one down. I'm sure there's 100 out here. I'm more worried about the next coop over because they're smaller plants. Howdy y'all, today is April 30th. I was waiting on a shipment notice because I usually get them on Mondays, or they ship them Mondays and I get them Wednesdays. Hadn't heard anything, then all of a sudden get a call from the post office. So they came on time, all's good, all look good and healthy and alive. The surprise chick blended in pretty good, but it's that tiny one with a little bit of black on them. So we'll see what that is here in a little while, if it hangs in there. But these are the meat birds, the Cornish cross, so they'll be ready to go in the freezer in just a couple months. Up in the grow room now. Didn't catch a mouse, but that looks a little suspicious. I haven't put any of the trim around the door, so maybe somehow they're getting in that way. It doesn't look like, well, I can't say that. There has been a little bit more damage, but at this point I can't really tell on mine what needs to be done. Oh, look at that. That one's coming up. But there's been some more digging going on. And yeah, just didn't catch it. So I don't know what I'm gonna do up here, but I'll probably be done planting up here. Whatever comes up here, I'll move out today, tomorrow, the next day, and cut my losses up here. But it looks like a lot's still doing okay. Didn't catch anything. Hopefully we catch something though. I'm actually more nervous to check the chicken coops, so fingers crossed out there, because those are my older plants and those took a little more time. The ones that I started up here, you know, I can redo in a week. But the ones out there have been going for quite a while, so let's hope they're not torn up. Still seeing a little bit of damage out here. I had one of my black crims dug up pretty good, but the plant still looks okay. I'm gonna get those planted today, so hopefully it'll pull through all right. And over here, I actually did get a mouse, so that's good. That might have been the culprit, but like I said, I'm sure there's 100 more. Second coop here looks pretty okay. I'm not seeing anything new dug up. The pumpkin that was dug up I replanted yesterday and it's still kicking. I am not a fan of these traps because, once again, it's been cleaned off, as well as this one over here, still cleaned off. I even put a little extra so they'd have to get on it a little harder. But I did catch one in the corner over there, so at least I have that going for me. Before I mess with doing anything in the garden, planting or moving things, I want to get the chickens all taken care of, move the coops, grab eggs, all that sort of thing. I did drop off some more eggs the other day to the grocery store, so they should be set for another week, week and a half. They're selling a lot faster, so thank you to everyone who's buying over there. That is pretty cool. The tomatoes are looking good out here. I need to pick up these T-posts. This is what I had holding down the weed cloth, but got them in there. And I don't remember if I said it or not, but thank you to some friends who dropped these off. They actually dropped them off last year, but I already had the garden in, so I wasn't able to use them. So that's handy. I have a couple smaller ones, and then my dad said I could use some of his. So we'll try that with as many as I have, and then after that, I'll do something else. We were supposed to be getting some rain here in a little bit, but looks like it dried up. Pretty day out. I'm gonna get all the tomatoes planted today. That is the goal, at least. A little later on this evening, I have someone dropping off mulch. We'll see what that looks like, and then I'm gonna start working more in the garden on that. But I do need to get some more weed cloth. Getting a lot planted. I have two smaller ones. These were replants, and I think they were black crim, but I could be wrong. But I've got all my other black crim planted at this point, so that's a good feeling. I don't remember how many I had, but I planted more black crim than anything because I do like those and they're customer favorites. So I've got to start putting some straw down to match everything else. I did accidentally plant a yellow pear here. Not what I wanted, but it's okay. And then over here starts the Baxter bush. So almost done. My legs just need a break. I'm tired of sitting on my knees. So I'm gonna do the straw just so I'm standing up for a little while. And then we will finish this row out. I don't really know what to do with this tomato. It originally got dug up by a mouse. I fixed that, and then I think it was a chicken that hopped up there. It could have been a mouse. Again, just went and snipped it, but it still looks good. It's been like this for several days. I'll probably attempt to straighten out and just plant it and see what happens. If it dies, I'll pop something else in there. All right, y'all, we have a load of mulch. So this poor guy shoveled this by hand into his pickup truck and came and raked it all out. So that was really sweet of him to do that. He even stopped by once before he dropped this off just to get an idea of the project, which is massive. And then yeah, so anyways, this is a little smaller than what I need, and it's going to be way more loads than I think. I mean, I don't feel right asking him to hand load, you know, 20 times this amount. So I paid him, sent him on his way. But I do have a plan for this mulch. It's just not gonna be for the garden. Well, I didn't get all my tomatoes in today, but good chunk. I've got, I think, 11 more to go. Right now we do have a little system moving in later today. I'm not exactly sure how I'm gonna stake them just yet. I might use cattle panel, the rest of my pig fence, maybe the Florida weave like my mom did. But for now, just to stabilize them, I'm putting bamboo sticks. And then, have you guys ever seen this thing? It's pretty cool. It just, so that way you don't have to go and hand tie them all the time. It's a lot faster, so you just kind of stretch it to where you want it, clamp it, give it a little squeeze, and it staples it, cuts it. I can get it in there without all the leaves on it. Yeah, you can't really see. Let's go this side. Doesn't want to focus, but anyways, it just makes things a little bit faster, because in the past I had been cutting and tying and it just took a lot longer. So this is just a quick little action you can do and it is done. Just like that, easy peasy. Howdy, yeah, today is May 1st. I'm finishing planting my tomatoes. I only have just a couple more, 3 more, so we're just about done with the tomato row, which is a great feeling. I did have 1 or 2 tomatoes completely die from the mice or just something, so I'll replace those with some tomato, whichever one I find. But I do have some bad news. French fry is dead. So he was kind of looking or just acting a little off yesterday, and I don't know what happened to him. Maybe he didn't go up last night, or maybe he was sick, not sure, but he was dead, just laying out there. It didn't look like there was any sort of struggle. The feathers on his neck had been kind of roughed up, but there's no blood. His face was kind of blue. It's almost kind of like how his dad died. So I don't know, it might have been a heart issue or something, if y'all remember Doodle Doo. First hour, walked out, did chores, he was completely fine walking around, and then the next hour he was dead. So I don't know, French fry did seem a little bit off yesterday, so who knows what was going on, but it's a bummer we lost him. Howdy y'all, today is May 2nd. I'm working in the garden, gonna get this second row in. What I'm gonna do is stretch out the last of this pig fence that I had left over, and I'll plant some viney stuff on here.